What's up, guys? This is Jaren with Patrick Adair Supplies. Today we have a really fun one for you. It's in fact two rings that we're doing for this month, and it's Star Wars themed. So they're based off of some Star Wars characters, and that'll be really fun. So let's get into that video.
Every month, we dive into epic tutorials that break down everything you need to know to make awesome rings with your monthly sub box. We'll cover the tools, the materials, and techniques you need to turn your box into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Whether you're a first-timer or a pro, you're in the right place.
So in this month's sub box, we have a white ceramic ring blank, carbon fiber ring blank, some red neon glow powder, white glow powder, and then for our stones, we have obsidian and lapis lazuli. As well as a bonus item, I will show you this at the end of the video. So since these rings are Star Wars inspired, I wanted to base them off of specific characters. This ring is based off of Darth Maul. And so we have his color scheme, which is the bright red and black. As well, we are trying to mimic the certain characteristics about him. Not only like his crimson lightsaber, but as well his horns, and the pattern that he has of his tattoos around his body. And so for the horns, obsidian kind of worked out perfectly with the black color, as well as the jagged edges look very much like his horns. And so my placement of these pieces in the ring, I'm trying to take the larger, more jagged pieces and hand placing them where I feel they fit best, but as well somewhat look natural. That is something that's very difficult to do in the ring making process, doing something that looks good and is going for the inspiration that you have, but as well trying to mimic a natural stone is something very difficult to do. To kind of aid with that natural feeling, what I'm adding to it is smaller pieces of that obsidian. So I crushed it up a little bit finer for this part, and I'm just placing medium-sized pieces, and I'll sprinkle throughout some smaller pieces as well. Now for this next step, really what I'm trying to do here is create a layered feel to this ring. You really could go either way here though. You could go with just the red backdrop and have some depth to the ring to be able to see the different jagged edges on the obsidian, or you can do kind of what I'm doing here and layering back and forth with the red and the obsidian. There's pros and cons to both methods, but the reason why I chose to go with this one is because I really want that glow to be super bright and vibrant, just because lightsabers are very bright, and so layering it all the way to the surface I think gives the brightest glow in the end result. Now once that's fully cured, we move on to our next step, which is our gemeling phase. Now if you've done this for a really long time, or if you're new to the hobby, either way this next step is going to be a little bit tricky. Carbon fiber is extremely soft and obsidian is extremely hard, and so it's kind of a balancing act. As you're gemeling, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the obsidian, gemeling it down, and you might slip, hit the carbon fiber, and create dents into it that you don't want. And so my advice to you is to please take your time, focus on all the large pieces of obsidian as you dremel it down, and try to get those as low as possible. As well, continue to rotate the ring as you dremel. That will prevent those obsidian pieces from heating up and flying out as you dremel. And so keep rotating it, add water as needed to cool those pieces off, and use fresh Dremel bits as you go. That's going to make your process a lot easier. Now that that's completely flush, you may have noticed that the ring is a little bit roughed up. We're going to smooth that guy out with some 220 grit sandpaper on the lathe. Really what I'm doing is sanding it down little by little, checking it ever so often to see my progress. So you can see here that there are some dents still, so I'm going to keep going. I'm sanding it down until it's smoothed out completely. If you over sand on this step, the ring might be a little bit too thin, and so just take your time and go slow, check and make sure you're not over sanding. As long as you didn't make too big of indents on the ring, then you should be fine. Once you're happy with the smoothness of the ring, now you can go ahead and dry that guy completely off as much as possible and fill in those gaps with some neon red glow powder. Add a top coat, and you're all set to go ahead and start with your sanding steps. I use 220, 500, 1000, and then 1200 grit sandpapers. This, as always, creates a really nice finish, especially with these carbon fiber rings. Now, a couple of things to note here. Carbon fiber rings, again, are extremely soft, and so removing those bevels is pretty easy to do. One thing I would recommend is, if you want to keep the bevels, to use a flat surface to create a better control of your sanding. I've showed this in previous videos, and so if you want to go back and check those out, I think that's a really great way to keep bevels. I didn't really mind it here, so I didn't really worry about it too much. Now that I'm done with my sanding, I'm using a step 2 compound polish on the lathe. I think that gives a really nice shine to this. If you want to go a little bit more beyond, you can take it to a step 3 mirror finish. I actually kind of prefer that with these carbon fiber rings, but that is if you have that. Now this ring design, especially if you're a Darth Maul fan, is super cool. I want to take it a little bit further, and so one other variation is taking some obsidian black pigment and glow powder to make that black really pop. Since obsidian is transparent, I use it as a backdrop sometimes to bring the black out a little bit, and I'll show that at the end if you want to try that out yourselves. Next, we have the Ahsoka inspired ring. With this month's ring box, we were going for a duality in the Force. And so if you are familiar with the story behind Darth Maul and Ahsoka, you may understand their duality in their relationship and how the light versus dark happens in their story. And so with Ahsoka's ring, we went with her color scheme, which is white and blue. And with this design, you can go so many different variations on it, but what I decided to do is to kind of follow the stripe pattern that she has on her hair and take inspiration from that. Now my process for creating these stripes is I'm sectioning off the ring with some electrical tape. You can use any other tape that you have, but this creates nice crisp lines and edges for these stripes. I'm going for a little bit more wide and spread out stripes, but you can do more close together or whatever variation you want. Now this doesn't create the most natural looking ring. It's more inspired by the stripes on Ahsoka, but you can do any variation on the ring that you want. Same goes for any ring design from any of these sub boxes. I love seeing your guys' variations on our Facebook page. Especially lately, I've been checking out your guys' takes, and they always turn out super cool. And so please keep doing that. Please keep sharing your variations on these designs, and I would love to see your guys' designs for this Ahsoka and Darth Maul series. Now this isn't a perfect method that I'm doing here, creating these stripes, but I love coming up with different ideas and different techniques for creating these ring designs. We can always just get super plain, just putting in stones into an inlay, making it look as natural as possible. But then it gets a little bit samey sometimes for me, and so I love doing unique designs. For future sub boxes, I really want to get creative and have fun with these, and so if you guys have ideas as well for future sub boxes, please leave them in the comments. Any inspiration that you guys want us to take from and pull from, like in pop culture or anything else, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this as well. Anyway, with the stripes, as soon as you get those sectioned off and to where you like it, you can add a clear coat, a couple of clear coat layers on this ring, and from there all you gotta do is Dremel this down and repeat the sanding steps, very similar to last time. Lapis is fairly soft, not too difficult to Dremel down, and the ring blank is white ceramic, which is extremely scratch resistant and durable, and so you don't really need to worry about scratching this one. When it comes to sanding, I'm just going to do 220, 500, 1000, and 1200 grit sandpaper again. Now this will create a really nice finish, but for polishing, maybe start with a step 1 polish, and then 2, and then if you want to be a little bit extra, step 3. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for this ring design. I love pulling inspiration from different sources. We've done things like space inspired. Now this one is Star Wars inspired. We would love to try other pop culture references in our ring designs. If you guys have other ideas, I'm thinking things like, at the top of my head, maybe like The Lord of the Rings, maybe Game of Thrones, or Marvel, or even Pokemon, anything like that. Shout it out in the comments. I would love to see your guys' ideas, and we'll definitely take those into account and try those out in the future. One last thing, for our bonus item this month, we're giving you this unique tray that makes it very easy to sort out different size pieces after you've crushed them. We've shown you in this design and in other designs that you want different variations of pieces. And so this allows you to do that and then easily store those right back into a mixing vial. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.